Okay. Let's see. Are we on? Looks like we're on. How is everybody tonight? Hope you guys are all having a wonderful midweek. Hope you guys are having a great week altogether. Let me turn the. Ooh, too bright, too bright, too bright. Okay. How is everybody? Um, I know after all the excitement last night watching the presidential election, but yeah, let's not go there. Because, well, let's all be respectful of each other's opinions. So let's not talk politics tonight. Um, let's see who's in the room. We got Ms. Donna Hoskins saying, hey, hey, hey. Hey, Donna. We got Pat DiPietro. Um, hello, hello. We got Melina Montoya checking in. Hello, Melina. And Miss Remo J, she's saying good evening to everyone. Good evening, Miss Remo. Guess who it is? It's Miss Nancy. Hello, hello. And Remo and Nancy are reminding everybody to give a thumbs up. So thank you guys for that. And Debbie Ott is here. Hello, Debbie. And Debbie Ott is asking, what's everybody working on? Yeah, what is everybody working on tonight? Jilly Poppy, and she's checking in, and she's already asking the question for this video, so I'll talk about that a little later. Michelle the Quilter is here. Hello, Michelle. And people are kind of answering the question, so I'll take that into consideration. Linda Fugate says, I need quilting math. Okay, so since the question has already been proposed, let me just kind of explain my thought process about why I'm asking this, because throughout this whole series, one of the most common questions that I get, and when I say series, I'm talking about while I am doing this farmer's wife quilt. One of the most common questions that I get is, how do you resize a block? All of these farmer's wife quilt blocks were finishing at 6 inches, but sometimes people might want to take a block such as this one and make it larger, or they just might want to make a whole quilt out of just one block, but they don't want to be doing 6-inch blocks for days. So one of the again, the question that I get, especially from a lot of beginning quilters or those that are just starting their quilting journey, they don't know how to calculate some of the, or do some of the math behind some of the most basic things. For us experienced quilters, or those of us that have been sewing for quite some time, it might be a little bit easier for us to do. But for someone who's just getting started, you might not know the math behind trying to calculate some of the numbers. And so when you see a pattern or when you see a block and you want to make it bigger, you may not know how to do that. So that's what I was kind of getting at. So for example, if I need a finished size 2-inch square, what size do I cut my fabric? Well, that's an easy one. If I need a finished size 5-inch half square triangle unit, what size do I cut my square? So it's questions like that that I wanted to kind of address, because nobody's really putting stuff out there, and you kind of need to just figure it out on your own. So that's the idea behind it. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be a prepared video. I might just do it on a live. I don't know. That I still haven't decided on yet. But that's kind of the idea behind this video series that I'm kind of thinking about. And I think it's a go ahead. It's a thumbs up, but not really sure. Now, the follow-up question to that, though, and that I didn't put in, forgot to put that in. Is there a certain type of unit, or is there a certain type of quilting mat that you need to look for, that you want help with? What I mean by that is, say for example, if I need a flying geese unit to measure a certain size or finish at a certain size, um, do you struggle with that? If I need X amount of 2.5-inch squares, how much yardage do you need to calculate? Actually, I don't even know that answer, so scratch that. Or if you need something like, if you want to construct a 12-inch block, do you know how to calculate the individual sizes? So those are the type of things that I'm kind of, again, those are the kinds of things that I'm looking at in terms of what this video series is going to be. So yeah. But people are saying yes, they would be interested. Okay, Eric, that's quite an endeavor of a block. I'm intrigued. Michelle the quilter says yes, I would be interested in quilting math too. Okay. Jill says I'm not a coffee drinker, never have been. Oh, sorry, that was Pat talking to Jill. Let's see. Judy Hebert is saying hello. Hello, Judy. Glad you made it here tonight. Hello, please, no politics. Yes, Jilly, no politics tonight. Thank you for not talking about the election. That's Remo. Okay. Yeah, so I really was kind of, part of the reason why I didn't do the live last night was because I think there was so much focus on the presidential election, in which I didn't want to have a session where we're talking about what's going on with that. So, and the other reason was I knew traffic was going to be crazy because everybody's trying to get off of work and get to the polls. So, and it kind of was crazy because normally it takes me about 20 or 30 minutes to get home. Oh, last night it took me almost an hour because I was just sitting in traffic. So those are the two reasons why I kind of postponed the live, and we're doing it tonight. So yeah. Hello, people coming in. Okay, so hey, Miss Sheila, how are you doing, girl? We got Terry checking in. Lori Clark is checking in. Hello, Lori. And people are doing the gemstones quilt. I still have yet to do one. I bought a book for that. It's a paper piecing, so not really something that I enjoy doing, but I can do it. It's on my bucket list, though. Hello, Miss Claudia. Yes, I think there are a lot of quilters that could use that information. Okay. Years ago, there was a website with all that info, but I haven't seen it recently. Okay. The Confident Quilter is here. Hello, Miss Gladys. Multi lasagna. I love that. And I have a slight blood level in my caffeine scores. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean by that, but okay. So a few announcements. So the row that you see behind me, this is actually my entry into the 2024 Sobeka Traveling Quilt. I just completed this. Well, I needed to kind of do some some quilting math because I made the blocks the wrong size. So I just decided to just add a border on the top and the bottom and on the sides and call it a row. So this is going to be sent off to Becca, and I think she has someone else that's going to put or she will be putting all of the rows together, and it's going to get quilted by Tiffany, I believe. So if you don't know have no idea what I'm talking about, you can actually go to Sobeka's channel, in which if I do exclamation Sobeka, is it? I think, oh wait, spelt it wrong. I hope that's it. So anyway, if you can go to Sobecca's YouTube channel. There's the link that the chatbot just put up. And she has a playlist of what she calls the 2024 Traveling Quilt, in which 11 of us creators, various creators, we all kind of planned out this, or we all sort of did a role for this quilt that's going to get put together. So every month there was a new video that went up onto the various people's channels, and November was my month, and this is my entry for that. So the video, unfortunately, I had a little bit of a problem with my editing computer, or the computer that I use for editing videos. So it is a little late, but hopefully I will get it up before this weekend, and you guys can enjoy watching that video. It was a lot of fun to actually put this one particular video together. Yeah, and this, by the way, yes, it is paper pieced. So doing this row, I kind of learned that paper piecing is really not my thing. I can do it, but it's not my thing. Okay, so that's one thing. Second announcement, this Saturday, for those of you that are available, I will be on a live stream with the Greenland quilter. That's Katie, the Greenland quilter. Once in a while you see her pop up. If she does end up popping in tonight, because she usually comes in towards the end of the live, but again, I will be joining her live on her channel. That's the Greenland quilter, and we are going to be putting, do I have it here? No. Oh, I can do this. So one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to put together some string blocks, but I'm going to use the strings in a much different way. So I'm not going to be constructing this particular block, but this will give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So here, all of these petals of the flower, these actually started off as string blocks. Oh, where is my container? So I got a stack of strings that I've been sewing, usually not in this kind of half square triangle format, but I used this or string blocks like this and created this. And so what we're going to be talking about is trying to give you various ideas that if you are someone who sews a lot of strings, you know, it gets kind of boring when you just have a quilt of just strings. And if you're like me, you need some variety to keep it interesting. So if you're free this Saturday, check us out, because I'll be giving some ideas about what you can do with strings. Okay. Let's see. Hello, Miss Kinono Show. Okay, Denise is here. She's saying, hello everyone, really like the border fabrics on the strip. Well, thank you, thank you. All right, so let me get started with tonight's block. Actually, since I have all the blocks down, normally I would, if I'm on live, I would put it up on the design wall behind me, but since I have it, let's have a quick look at all of the blocks that I've done thus far. We're almost there. I think I got maybe less than 10 more to go. And I do not remember which block numbers there are, each one of these are. I call this the Chase Bank block. I might get in trouble for saying that. This one goes like that. I remember making this because this was, yeah, I had to cut out each of these templates, or cut out each of the pieces based on a template. Not a difficult block to do, but it turned out very nice. Well, at least I'm happy with it. Would I make a whole quilt out of this? Probably not. Okay, this one just reminds me of a Jacob's ladder. Oh boy, this one I remember gave me a lot of problems, in which it's not perfect, but it's good enough for me. So I remember doing this, trying to question whether or not these two blocks or these colors were going to be contrasting enough, but I think it works. Okay, I got in trouble for this one, so yeah, this one might be in the delete pile. Or the in case of emergency pile. I remember I did this one in a single night. This was not part of a live. Actually, some of these blocks weren't on a live stream. I just kind of did them off camera. And this is one of them. This is one of the first blocks that I did. I do remember the name of this. I think it's called Bat Wings. And ribbons. Let's see, Evening Star. Some people call this the Sawtooth Star. There's a ton of different names for this one. But I was quite impressed with the red and the yellow combination. And I don't remember what this is called, but I do remember getting frustrated trying to line up all the stripes, and after a while I just said, forget it. This, I know I did off camera, or maybe I did it in conjunction with, or did like 2 blocks in one video. But this is pretty straightforward. You can kind of figure out how to construct it on your own. Oh, that's where this fabric went. I forgot I used this fabric. Okay, so this was the flower basket, I believe. There's so many basket blocks on this quilt that I just, yeah, I can't remember all of them. Broken dishes. Again, this was another one of those first blocks, and I didn't actually construct it correctly because the center points there are kind of whacked off, but you know what? I'm leaving it. And the spool, this is fairly simple, straightforward. Okay, the frog, the turtle, people had different things or saw different things on with this one. I remember that. This was just a couple of weeks ago, actually. Oh, this was a fun block, trying to calculate the size of these triangles. Yeah. And this was the Dizzy block, or actually I called these fabrics the Dizzy fabric, but when you cut it up and use it and construct something with using some plain fabrics, it actually looks pretty good. And another one. I forgot what this block is called, but I know this one was on a live sometime, so. Okay. So that's the big stack, and we're gonna add to it one more block, and tonight's block is called Buckwheat. It just gives me a mental image when I say that name. Can I say Saturday Night Live? Okay. So I got my pieces kind of cut up. I'm not sure if this color combination is going to work, but we're going to make it work. So this was 8 and this one 8 and then top. Okay. What time Saturday? I believe it starts at 12 noon Pacific time. Yeah. Donna, I will post the information, or I'll put a post on the YouTube channel, like a community post with all the information. So stay tuned for that. I think it would be cool. I think it would be cool if we could all swap strings. Do I hear a block swap? Yeah, that's something I don't want to coordinate, but, well, it'll be interesting. Your 52 blocks and 52 week series was a great one, Mr. Eric. You too push your channel to my feed just before you started that series. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for following, Donna. Okay. I think of the Little Rascals, Buckwheat. Anyone here know who I'm talking about? So this block is kind of a straightforward block because it's just basically squares and half square triangles. The complication to this block is the fact that it's set on point, and so the calculation behind it is what's difficult. But I ended up using or cutting out the templates and just using that instead, because part of the, again, quilting math, part of the reason why this is actually very difficult is because you might think that, okay, if I just cut a 2-inch square and then put it on point, it's still 2 inches, and in which it's not. Well, this way will measure 2 inches, but the height of this is not 2 inches. It's actually more than 2 inches. So again, that's part of the reason why I kind of want to do this series, is how do you figure out all of that? So, and don't make that mistake because I did that. Okay, let's see. Which one was my A? 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, so this is number 2. And this is my number 1. And then this is number 3. So these are just in the center. So let's put these aside for a second. And I need to have, let's see, so this and this. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So these two get sewn together into 8 half square triangles. And I'm just going to chain stitch all of these. You know, I was just kind of thinking this morning, and it didn't dawn on me that we're already in November. Usually, the day after Halloween, I'm already bussing out all of my Christmas and, yeah, Christmas crafting stuff, and kind of setting up my Christmas trees. But there's been so much stuff going on in my life that I haven't had time to even do that, so it didn't even dawn on me that we're in November. Is this year going by fast for you guys too? Hello, Cam. It is 2 p.m. in Phoenix. Is it really? Oh, because you don't have times. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Arizona is one of those states that doesn't do daylight savings, so it's always a different time for them, as opposed to me here in Las Vegas. Even though we're only about, what, 2 inches, 4 hours away apart. Oops, sorry. Let's see. Eddie Murphy played him on SNL, right? Yes, Sue. He did Buckwheat and he did Gumby. Those are the two characters that I remember most. Oh, didn't catch the fabric there. Okay. I hope I got my measurements right. Well, I should have because I used the templates. So if my measurements aren't right, then the templates are actually wrong. Okay, what other two items do I need to... So that means this and this. 1, 2, wait. Hold on, let me just take this off one step at a time. Let's not get myself confused. Okay, I intended for this to be well, actually, you know what? Let me press these because they're not going to stay open if I just finger press it. So I'll bring the iron closer to me. How big are your fingers? Those pieces look tiny. Yeah, I got pretty, well, I don't know if you can actually see that, but my hand span is about 8 inches. So one finger, almost half an inch wide. But yeah, these are tiny pieces because they're, what, barely 2 inches? Come on, open up. Okay, there we go. Now you're starting to open up for me. Okay. So got there. Got that there. Got this one here. This one goes there. Hold on. So that's why. So that goes there, that goes there. This is part of the confusion of putting blocks on point, is you have to kind of reorient your brain to think a little differently because it's not in straight rows. Okay, then this and so these two get sewn together to make the 4. And this will go in the corner. Let's see. Oh, let me back up a little bit. You know, I never watched The Little Rascals. Was there a character? Well, obviously there must have been a character by the name of Buckwheat. I never did watch Little Rascals. I've heard of it, even though I think it was a show before my time. Not to say that people are old, sorry. Jilly Poppy says, I did not put up a tree last year. Maybe this year I will. Lots of work for an old woman carrying boxes down from the attic. It is a lot of work, but you know, for me, decorating a tree, it's relaxing and kind of enjoyable. Plus, I mean, this is the one time a year where after doing all those ornaments and making all those ornaments, I mean, this is the one time a year I get to show them off. So I say, why not? But yeah, this is why I usually start very early setting up stuff, because it does take a lot of work. I will say that. Oh, that's why I needed. Okay, I was trying to figure out, why do I have so many of these, or why did they tell us cut so many of these other triangles? And it's because it's going to be the side set triangles for this block. Okay. But I definitely should have chosen a different fabric, because these two fabrics are not, I mean, they're a little too close together, if you ask me. But you know what? We make it work. So that will go there. And this will go there. That goes there. Hopefully that's in the right spot. Or that'll be the right size. There we go. Yeah. Nancy says, yes, she feels like this year has flown by. I would agree with you there. Kimber says, math is my worst enemy. I'm glad for the Robert Kaufman quilting calculator. If I still have issues, I call a friend who has an engineering degree. Yeah, I'm usually that friend for a lot of people. Am I missing one? Oh. So there we go. I think, is this backwards? No, that's right. Wow, that fabric is very faint, or very faint. Okay. Kimber says, I still have my silver tree from 1961. Wow, still use it. I have all the ornaments dating back to the 1950s and some newer ones. I went through then a few years ago and got sorted. Wow, talk about heirloom ornaments. My hobby home says I have 4 trees for my house, one in my sewing room, crafted ornaments on it, a Santa boot for the area between my kitchen and living room with smaller balls, a 4 foot for my back porch with just lights. You know, one year I counted, I actually set up five, five Christmas trees in my small little apartment, and people thought I was crazy. But apparently, I'm not the only one that does that because there's a lot of people that set up like a tree for every single window. And she continued, and my hobby home says her big tree is in her living room with all her children's ornaments. Aww. And Linda Fugate says the ornaments on my tree are things my boys, now 53 and 44, wow, they made them items from kits decades ago and a lot from my childhood that my mother used to put on our family tree. See, you know, in our family, Christmas was always big for me, but for our family, because we weren't practicing Christians, we were actually Buddhists growing up. Like we celebrated Christmas in the not in the religious sense, but in the sense of like, you know, sharing the holidays, the giving aspect of it. And you know, we didn't have like heirloom type of ornaments to pass down from that was passed down from generation to generation. Part of it was just because on my dad's side, they kind of grew up on the plantation, so I don't know what they did for Christmas. I've seen, well, no, yeah, they did celebrate Christmas because I have seen some old pictures when my brothers would visit my grandparents before I was born. And I should cut this off. But yeah, we don't really have any of those type of things. Or if they do, it's all with my other family members, not with us. Am I sad about it? Yeah, I guess so. But is it a big ordeal for me? Not really, because now I'm the person making all the heirloom ornaments. So more of an excuse to do more crafting and buy more stuff. Ow. Okay. I just hit my big toe on the metal bar that sits under the table. Ow. That hurt. Okay, so this one was here. Then that one was up there. So this I can sew to here. So this was up here. Am I pressing to one side or am I, let's just press it open. So that would go up there. Then I can sew this one to here. So I'm going to finger press these seams open because these are tiny pieces and there's going to be a lot of bulk in the back that I'm going to be dealing with. So press them open. And finger pressing that for now. So that goes there. Now, then this one went here, so I can do it like that. So let's see, I'm just finger pressing this back. This one was like that. And then now I can sew this top one on, or the corner piece. Okay, then we finger press this one open. And I'll put that back. Now I can start with this, sew that to there. And I got my top side. You know, lately I've been discovering that I've been pressing my seams open a lot more, and I've been getting better results at it. Okay. And then this goes on like this. You know what? I think I cut these squares wrong. Let me check. Because this looks a little too big. Yep. No, that's right. So it was like that. Something's not right. Hold on. Okay, this shrunk a little bit, so I need to, yeah, we're gonna fix that a little bit. Stretch it, maybe. Oh boy. Yeah, that piece we're gonna have to fudge a little bit. So now this one is here. Then I will sew this to this. Okay, not a problem. We can still make this unit work, even though it's a little small. There's that. Okay. Oh, hey, Jim. So Jim Bennett is saying we bought ornaments for our kids each year. After they get married, we give them on their first Christmas together. Kimber says, I make porcelain ornaments for each grandchild every year with their name and the year. I have to get started on them for this year. Ooh. Are they hand painted, Kim? That's something I haven't picked up on. Oh my, I just noticed the time. It is 10 p.m. here and I have to get up at 4:30 for work. Well, thanks for stopping by my hobby home. What is the template on your sewing machine? The grid with scalloped edges. Where is it available? It would work on my Juki as well. Will it work on my Juki as well? Donna, this is this seam guide is actually by Riley Blake. It's designed by Lori Holt. The Seam So Easy. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Seam So Easy. You can actually find, I got mine on Amazon. And you can basically use it on any machine where that, because it's just kind of taped down here. Well, I don't want to take it off yet, but yeah, you can find this on Amazon. Fairly inexpensive. I mean, it's just a piece of plastic actually. And it really is a very, very good, well, at least it's the best seam guide that I've seen thus far. And it really works for me because instead, you know, just like if you know of diagonal seam tape, you still have the 3 markings here. But when you have larger pieces where, like in bag making, you want to do maybe a 1/2 inch seam allowance, you have other lines that you can line up your fabrics or kind of use those lines as your seam guide. So and you know, it's removable and reusable. So unlike the seam tape, you have to take it off, get rid of it, and then every so often you got to buy a new seam roll of seam tape. So yeah. Is it the best one for everybody? I don't know. I mean, it just depends on what you're really looking for and what your needs are. So I know a lot of people like to use that diagonal seam tape, which is fine. But I personally like this one because it fits how I sew and how I quilt. Okay, so now I can start putting these rows together. And I'm hoping and praying that my points are in line. Kind of sewing this blindly. Okay. And Jilly Poppy says, Eric, working on a quilt now that the directions are to press open all seams. I like it, so much easier to match seams. Okay. Yeah, sometimes it's, where was this piece? This was the one that was here. That was that corner. This is this corner. So I need to sew these 2 together. Okay, this is the point where I start messing up because half the block is already completed, but the other half is not. So I hope I got that one right. I should have taken a picture of it. That's one of the things I've learned, that when I do blocks on point, or even square units that are on point like this, I can get the first half of it fine. But when it comes down to sewing that second half, I get all disoriented because it's backwards. In my mind, it's backwards. So I need to kind of think of it, or I don't know, try and find some other methodical method in doing that, or in putting it together. You know what? I'm just going to press this. So there's half of it. Now that corner and that is the corner. So these 2 can get sewn. No, wait, yeah. These 2 are sewn together. Okay. Yes, Nancy, I just basically kind of did that. She said, fudge it in. Well, you make it work. Okay, so I can actually then take this row, sew it onto here. Hmm. And Donna Hoskins is saying, okay, thanks, Eric. No, you don't have to remove it. I have noticed it before and I really like it. Yes, I have the quarter inch seam tape for the right. Now I will look for it. Okay. Glad that I could help. If you follow Lori Holt's channel, because she does have a YouTube channel, she actually talks about this particular seam guide and how she uses it and how to properly set it up, which is because I do watch Lori Holt's videos, and that's how I found out about this seam guide. So when I looked at it and then I see how she uses it, it's like, you know, she sews like I do. So I figure out, okay, let's spend a couple bucks and see if it works for me, and it truly did. So I'm happy with it. But again, it's just really personal preference. So don't think that I'm trying to sell you this product. You know what? I'm gonna sew this corner piece on now that I can. This I'm trying to get open. Okay, we're a little over, so less talking, more sewing. Okay, then I know it goes this way, so I will put this one like that. And I will, well, I'll trim it up later. Press that out. And I know this is the other corner. Press this one back. No, actually, there's a lot of bulk behind there. I can feel it. So I'm gonna, first of all, trim these parts. And let me, if I can find the seam, I'll just finger press it and roll with that. And let me get this unit off. Okay. Donna Toback. Good catch, because I actually got this wrong. These blocks are actually supposed to be flipped backwards. Gosh darn it. You know what? I'm not gonna fix it. I'm just gonna go with it. Or maybe, yeah, these are supposed to be flipped around the other way. Because according to the picture, this darker color was on top. Now the darker color is on the bottom, but I'm gonna leave it. Although I kind of, I don't know. I think it kind of looks pretty cool with all the colors going the same way. Call it a design choice. All right, since I'm already here. Okay, let's get this. Well, there it is, sort of. Sort of. Okay, let me press this block really well and we'll have a look at this. All right, so let me square it up a little bit. Well, really came up short on one end, but I think it'll work. Whoops. Okay, not 100% correct, but I don't know. This might not make it into the final quilt, but at least it was. At least I could say I could make it. Hi, Judy. Hello, Miss Kevin Mirth. That's Mary. Thanks for stopping by to pay the rent. Yes, Donna. Donna Toback, it's a design choice. I am sticking to that story. Or quilter's choice. No quilt police here. Thank you, thank you. Oh, hello, Miss Laura Sup. And happy birthday to Dad. Looks like an arrowhead. Oh, it does look like an arrowhead. Yeah, I definitely do see that. Let's see. Hello, Miss Katie. See, I told you guys she would pop in. So Katie, I was actually telling everybody about what we're planning on doing this Saturday, so hopefully they will all join us. I will be posting the information to Katie's channel later on tonight, because if I leave it for tomorrow, I'm going to forget to do it. So I'm going to do that right after we get off this live. But again, I will be joining Katie on her channel, which is the Greenland Quilter. And we'll be sewing some string blocks together. So yeah, if you are available on Saturday, come and join us. Hello, Judy Hammack. Hammack? Sorry. I know I butchered your name. Time has gone by super fast this year. My grandmothers used to say that the older one gets, the faster time flies. I just turned 69 and I can definitely vouch for this. Okay. Hey, 69 is still young. What are you making? What are you making that I see behind you? Ah, Katie, that is my entry to the Sobeka 2024 traveling quilt row. That's my row. So videos coming for that. It is a paper piece pattern, and it's a paid paper piece pattern. So I can't it's the video that I have is not exactly a tutorial. It's kind of more or less telling a story behind why I chose this pattern. So yeah, stay tuned for that. It was a it's a fun video for me to work on, but because there's a lot of work to it, it's taking some time. So hopefully I will get it up and posted before this weekend. Y'all bring your scraps. We're going to have some fun. Yes. Looks like dragons. They're paper cranes, actually. If you know origami cranes, that's what they are. In fact, let me bring it down so you can see one up close. So it's a paper piece pattern in which there's one paper piece, there's a second piece there, there was the middle, and then very large piece here. Okay. Okay, so stay tuned for this video. But I do need to get this shipped off to Becca because she is waiting to put the quilt together, since this is the final row. Okay, so that's the block. If I were to actually use this block and put it in the actual quilt, I would definitely choose some different colors, because for me, this gray and this fabric a little too close to each other in terms of not having enough contrast. And I would definitely have the bottom half sewn correctly. So, but you know what? It kind of, I mean, it works for me just doing it like this. It's not exactly the block, but I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't love it either, but yeah, I think for me, the problem with this block is just the color choices that I did, because I basically just pulled out whatever I had, and not given it much thought. But you know, this is all scrap fabric, so I mean, even if I chuck this block, I'm not gonna be sad about it, because again, it was just scraps that was given to me. So yeah. Okay, this was block number 13. Again, there's the example in the book. And when you see the actual block, that's what it's supposed to look like, in which, yeah, mine doesn't come close. I think my color choices, again, was just poor, but good to know. Because I should have actually used these fabrics in the center here. But I was just grabbing whatever I had. So, trial and error. This is kind of a in between. All right, guys. So that is it for tonight. You just got replaced with the pizza ad. Oh, did I? Sorry. I know the ads have been running. I just don't know when it's running, and I'm not sure why it's coming on live, or how to stop that. So I have to do a little bit more research on that. Okay, beautiful pattern. Thank you, Kim. That is beautiful. Love those paper cranes. Thank you, Pat. Excellent job. Thank you, Donna. All right, so guys, that is it for tonight. Want to thank you for joining me here. I know it's late for some of you, but I appreciate you guys spending the time with me. Again, don't forget that Saturday I will be joining Katie, the Greenland quilter, on her channel, and we'll be doing a live. So bring your scraps, bring your strings, and we'll be sewing together. And then again, for this quilt, or this Sew Becca's 2024 traveling quilt, be on the lookout for the video coming up later this week, and I will be shipping this off to her. All right, guys, that is it for tonight. There have been ads on a lot of creators' lives. Yeah, Jackie, I mean, I know there's a way to actually control it. I just don't know how to do it with the software that I'm using here. So I have to figure that out. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining me here tonight. And you all know what I'm going to say, so let's all say it together. Let's all get out there and let's all create something. Mwah. Bye for now.